Yo, yo, yo. We got my man up in here. Emmanuel. What up? So I just come out of the gym, right? Somebody try me. Normally I have a peaceful experience, especially at this new gym that I recently signed up to. I don't know where this came at, but it came at left field. And so I've seen this guy before. He seems to be very aloof. Um, I can't tell if he's white or Hispanic. I'm leaning towards possibly white. What up? How you been, brother? I've been good until this experience right here that troubled me, but I think I did a pretty good job at maintaining my patience and restraint. So tonight I went to the gym, working on legs. I'm doing a couple of sets, specifically with deadlifts, and then I finish it off with some leg extension. Now, typically how I work is through circuits. I have one station over here and one station over the other side of the gym. So, as I finish one station to make my workout routine more efficient and quickly get it done, as typically when you are resting, you normally sit in one place. But what I do is I do the opposite body part while the other alternative body part is resting. I work on the other so that I can finish my workout quicker. So, with that, I'm finishing up the last couple of sets. And my last set is doing calves, leg extensions, and that's for the quads and hamstrings. So, both stations for the legs to finish it up. So, I do that. I'm coming to my last set. I'm going back and forth, back and forth. So then there's this guy, like I said, he's presumably could be white, and I've seen him before. He always has like this non-approachable. You look over in this direction, he instantly puts his head down. It always seems like he's anxious and has some type of like non-verbal aggression for whatever reason. When I've seen this guy come up in here, so I come back to the station. I see that there's a bag and a can that's sitting next to the workout station. And so I get on it because he's not present. He comes over and says, I'm working over here. I said, I was just over here, man. I got one more set. He said, I'm over here. I'm working here. I just wiped it down. I said, I was just working out here. He was like, but I'm working over here. So I'm thinking in my mind, there's one or two things that I could do in this situation. Either I can insist to finish my set, make it a big deal, and say, no, you can wait, and you're going to have to wipe it out again. Or I can avoid the situation and walk it off. So I decided option B, or the second choice. But I wasn't going to leave without asserting my presence, which was asking him how many sets does he have. So I said, how many sets you got, man? So he turns his back and acts like he didn't hear what I said. I say it again. How many sets you got, bro? He ignores me again. I say it with more aggression. How many sets you got, bro? He said, I'll let you know when I'm done, with his little punk voice. Now mind you, that's what I needed was an answer. Because you're going to acknowledge my presence first and foremost before I walk away. And the crazy thing is, he didn't even have that many sets. He had maybe one or two. He could have easily said that and said, hey, I got one or two sets, man. It's all yours. Or the more etiquette thing to do in the gym is to allow me to finish my set. But I wanted to keep things peaceful. And not make a big deal out of it. AC said maybe he was hard of hearing. Didn't make a difference to me. I know that he heard me because I'm standing right directly to him like this, and you heard me when I was looking at him directly, and this is his way of being passive aggressive by ignoring me. And I don't handle people or deal with people in a passive aggressive way. I'm gonna be very direct because I noticed you heard me, and you turn your back on purpose to make it seem and give the impression I'm not stupid, but the type of person I am, I'm not leaving until you acknowledge my presence. And I made that very, very clear, and he understood that. And so then I walk away because I'm not going until you understand. I'm not going to let you just get away with this where you thinking that you're not going to get called out on the action of what you're doing. So therefore, this is my way of being polite and respectful, asking you how many sets that you have, and I got what I wanted, which is acknowledgement. So, and I contemplate if that was really the appropriate thing to do, because I could have been a complete jerk and said, no, you can wait and finish my set. But it's like, do I really want to create that negative tension in the environment that I go on a regular basis? Do I really want that type of, and speaking of which, this guy is literally right in front of me, the same guy that I was talking to about. He just got in the car right now. That's funny that we're talking about this. And he just looks like he's stressed out, like stuff is just going on in his life. You could just see it, always. But this guy's clearly got a problem, and you could tell he looks like the type of guy that life has thrown all type of different curveball at him, and he's unhappy with himself. It's clearly obvious. It's like he's got this kind of like sweaty, almost like school shooter look, like a thicker school shooter look. It says some people are inconsiderate and ignorant, and they don't know any better. Possibly some people, but with those type of individuals, ignorance and that type of behavior causes the type of reaction that you're going to get. And it's going to cause a negative reaction because for every action, there is a reaction. So therefore, there needs to be a reality check with that type of behavior would not be tolerated. But I'm trying to think because I go back and forth with it because I could have literally been even more bold and said, no, you can wait. And I almost leaning towards that. But it's just like, do I really want to keep that type of energy in the gym? Because I see this guy plenty of times. Like I said, he's non-approachable. He has this disposition of aloofness where he's, like I said, these microaggressions. And that's one of the things that I struggle with because I could have easily made that situation even more troubling for him to understand, to even bogard my way. But I did it enough as far as the tonality of my voice and that the fact that I held my ground as far as to stand right in front of him face to face and you answer my question. Sounds like you handled it well. But that's the thing what I, for myself, that I navigate with if I should have made it even more permanent, like really dug into my heels. Because I could have really did that, but it's just like, it's not that serious. Because I do enjoy this gym. It's a lot better than the previous gym that I was going to because those people are completely, everybody up in there is just very just non-approachable, very isolated. I find myself interacting really well. There's a good atmosphere, and this is actually the first time I've actually really experienced that type of air before. So it didn't really bother me. Like I'm not gonna walk away from this and just like, man, that really messed up my workout. It wasn't that serious because that was a very one-off situation. Everything else is always positive vibes. That's why I enjoy coming to the gym. But it kind of threw me off because I wasn't expecting. But I brushed it off. But I still think I could have made that situation very, very, a lot more hostile if I wanted to. Because it reminds me of that other time, which that actually called for, and I talked about it before on here when the lady at Walmart, where this chick cut me in line and they were the store was about to close, and this lady literally went out her way to go in front of me when they open up another lane. You know how they say, "Hey, lane 21 is open. Anyone, y'all can come over." And it's normally first come first serve when you walk over there. I got over there first before everyone. So then I had already put my items on the conveyor belt. Then this black chick came and brought her funky behind over in front of me, and then plopped her stuff on top of mine. And I'm looking at the conveyor belt, and then looking at her, and I'm like, I was here first. And she was like, well, I was in front of you in the other line. So I said, no, I was here first. You can wait. See, in that situation, I did push the issue because you had this dyke chick literally reinforce who worked there, who was the cashier, made it seem like she was in the right. She was like, yeah, how it go is, since she was in front of you in the other line, she's supposed to go. No, that's not how that go. It's first come, first serve. So then me and her get into a back and forth in that situation, and I made sure I pushed the limit with that. And I made sure I reported her the next day to management. And let's just say after that incident, and they checked the cameras that she did, in fact, because even the lady at the customer service, the manager, said that she was not supposed to ring her up in front of me. Let's just say that that lady don't work there no more, or that chick, I should say, because she ain't even a lady. She act like she was dressed and carried herself like a immature boy. So and that's what I'm saying. I got it in me where I can push my point to the furthest degree, and I'm gonna make sure my point gets heard and made. But in this situation, I did it slightly, very, very subtly. But I think it was enough for me to show that I'm not backing down. Even though you think that you're getting away with it, just know that I still held my own face to face to let you know my presence is here and it will not be ignored. So that's my story tonight. That was basically it. Other than that, I'm good. I'd say that the situation bothered me even more with that Walmart. That was like earlier. When was that? I think that was early last year or late last year, I should say. That actually legitimately pissed me off. This ain't really pissing me off where I'm getting like super excited, where it bothered me. Like that incident really did piss me off because it was on two fronts. You had that chick that cut me in line, she threatened me, and then you had the cashier literally validate her mistake for cutting me in line. It says, did you let a lot of stuff slide when you were younger? No. No, no, not at all. Should I say that I had less patience when I was younger, where I would literally go off? No. Not at all. Not at all. I would go 0 to 100 and go into rage and pissed off when I didn't get my way. No. She said, "Okay, I did." You did? Nah. I wasn't that type of young kid. I was pretty outspoken, and I would stand up for myself at all times. Anybody could tell you that, even my mother. I didn't need nobody coming to my aid because that's one thing that I was gonna do was stand up for myself at all costs. That's something that I actually had to practice not doing that, and that's the opposite from when I was younger. But I still, it itches at me that this dude still took my equipment and I allowed him to do so. But at the same time, I didn't do it without a response. So that's why I'm trying to balance it out. That's why I question my own if if that was the appropriate thing. I even talked to ChatGPT and it was just like, yeah, it's best to just in those type of situations um, to not create tension, even though they ChatGPT kind of thought that me repeating myself and saying to assert myself to say that how many sets do you have was kind of confrontation. ChatGPT wanted me to give them the benefit of doubt. It's like, I think that you can't. I don't know if you can't hear me, but that could even sound aggressive depending on the tonality of how I say it. To me, that sounds even more aggressive. What? You didn't hear me? You didn't hear me? Like I just said, I just repeated the same thing I said previously, which was, how many more sets you got, man? To me, that sounds more polite than me saying, what, you have a hard of hearing? Like to me, that sounds more confrontational. According to ChatGPT, they was like, you must be more clear and with your communication, you can still be, still give them the benefit of the doubt of asking the question. And hey, I just had so many more sets. Do you mind or something like that? But me asking that type of question of maybe you didn't hear me, that can be seen as confrontation from my point of view. But ChatGPT said I handled it well. That was their only little critique that they said that how I could have handled it from its AI standpoint. Who is this? RC? I don't think I've ever seen you before, RC. I think that's how you pronounce your name. From my point of view. But overall, I got a good workout. I feel pretty good. I'm still on this cutting journey. I can even see on camera that I'm getting leaner. These workouts are getting harder. I already lost 20 pounds. I got another 20 pounds to go. I've done numerous of cuts, and the older that I'm getting, the more I don't enjoy doing cuts. And I never want to get to a point where I get too heavy ever again in my life. I will say that because this is work, man. Cutting is a whole nother mental draining experience, especially when you got to cut so much weight. I'm about to cut 40 pounds in total. That's just it, and I've been cutting since January. It's exhausting, it's tiring. The workouts become more challenging, but I'm getting stronger. I'm, I'm hitting what they would call PRs and personal records, but it definitely challenges you mentally, and it challenges the grit. I feel it in your joints. You feel every fiber as you are cutting. It's very difficult, man. It's a whole nother mental state that you got to be in when you are cutting weight, and especially when you cutting so much weight. It sucks, straight up, man. But like I said, I'm in good spirits. I don't feel bad. I was listening to music, I was listening to a couple of podcasts. I found myself listening to a lot of podcasts about business, entrepreneurship, leveling up. I'm looking forward to bringing that type of content to this space, explaining how one can escape the 9 to 5, get out of the rat race of feeling trapped through wage slaves, getting caught up in this cycle of working at these gig jobs or 9 to 5 in general or 8 to 5, getting away from all these little rinky dink warehouse jobs like a Amazon or a Walmart. Because where I'm at in my business, I'm trying to get it to the point where it's completely removes myself out of it. That's what I'm working towards. I'm already at the point where I'm not relying on a 9 to 5 job. And I understand how to put the systems in together and put them together. But I'm at the growth stage where I'm trying to scale to the point where I completely remove myself and it's just on autopilot. Right now, where I'm at in my business, it requires a lot of dedication. There is some things that are automated that are out of my control, but there's a lot of moving parts that I'm still invested in and directly over, which is to be expected in the beginning stages of when you are operating your business. That there is going to be a lot of hands-on, which is cool, but I look forward to the day where it doesn't just require me. I can require it like a well-oiled machine to work on its own, and it's going to grow with or without me, which I understand the steps as far as how to get there, but it's a building process. You gotta take baby steps. You gotta crawl before you walk. And you can get caught into this trap of these individuals selling you, making it seem as though everything that you could do is like super quick, 30 days. You're making $10,000 a month, which is one of the most unrealistic metrics to encourage somebody to think that you're gonna scale your business in a 30-day challenge. That's the biggest deceit. And those individuals who are on here making it seem like it's so quick and easy, it is literally a lie. And it's so deceptive. See, a lot of those people, they're at the point where, yeah, they can excel quickly because they're already at a level where they have enough capital to infuse their business where they can make those type of leaps with making money to that degree with their business. But they don't show you the beginning stages is the most difficult part because you got to treat it like it's an infant. You got to give it a lot of care. You got to feed it. It requires a lot of your attention. But once it grows up and it matures, it will reward you beyond no beginning. Because right now, where I'm at with my business is, I'd say it's like in that preteen, almost teenage stage. It's not at the infancy. It's like that preteen just hitting teenish. It's getting a little rebellious. It's starting to talk back. It's starting to get a little challenging. I gotta check it a couple of times. Like, oh, you know who the boss is. You know who daddy is. All right. So I'm gonna need you to do what I tell you to do. All right. See, that's where we at right now with my business. That a couple of times you gotta slap that hand, pull out the belt. Sometimes you gotta even do some little threats here and there. Like, look, we're not gonna keep playing these little games. Because right now where I'm at is if I want to continue to do corporate clients, because I don't know if you guys know, but at the moment, I have a service business and I have a digital marketing agency that I'm working on. That's a newer business, but the current active business is a home service business. So I'm starting to get different leads and different opportunities, such as I just recently got hit up by Redfin. If you guys don't know, Redfin is similar to a Zillow where you would find real estate. And so they reached out to me and said how they want to feature my business in an article. And I write them an article and they'll show me the link. They say on average they get about 4 million views. So that's more than enough opportunity to produce and inject more traffic into my business for more eyes to see it. I'm just waiting for the editor to finish because they reached out. So there's different opportunities like that. Then you got another opportunity where I'm starting to get corporate clients such as property management, where they have a whole entire portfolio of real estate within the whole Chicago land. I'm starting to get a lot of those coming down the pipeline my way. Now, these are very lucrative businesses. They can be profitable. But the problem that I have with these big corporations is that they have so many layers of structuring. She said, "That's awesome. I hope you have a better night. Take care. You out of here, AC? All right, I appreciate it." And so the thing that I don't like about these property management companies is the way that they do their billing. Some property managers are what's called net 30 or net 60. What that means is that they don't pay until 30 days or 60 days. That's not all property management companies, that's just some of them. So within that, there's been a couple of that I was able to negotiate to get paid on a weekly basis instead of on the 30-day marker. So on the surface, it seems like it's sweet, but it doesn't fall short of problems. And those problems are that I'm starting to see a trend and a pattern that these individuals don't pay on time. They're late with the payment. And so what I'm used to doing transactions is instant credit cards, where you got to pay immediately. We get a card on file, we can run the card, and we good. I get paid immediately. But these property management companies operate off on invoicing. So these invoicing have a tendency to be late with the payment. So I got to figure out and draft a way to stop that from happening and have it penalties, serious penalties within a contract. But I got to figure out how I'm going to write that contract. So this is part of the problem solving and trying to navigate within the business and the compliance and the legalities. It gets pretty complex at times, but I'm navigating it through it. But it is what it is. But I'm doing what I can. So I think I'm gonna go back to the crib, eat my last meal for the day. I feel like RC looks familiar. I can't. But yeah, I gotta figure out. Gotta eat my last meal, which is I bought these tuna steaks. I didn't even know there was such thing. I'm so used to eating the regular tunas. So I'm about to prepare that. I'm curious to see how it's gonna taste. Does it taste like tuna? Does it taste like salmon? Apparently, when I was shopping online, a lot of people was buying them. So I will see. I don't know. But a tuna steak, it kind of looks like a salmon, a small salmon, but it's high protein. And another thing I noticed, man, I've been getting turned out to these Celsius energy drinks. I keep getting surprisingly impressed with the taste of these things, man. These things are good, and they give you like some very clean energy. Like I'm shocked. It's got no high fruit corn syrup, no aspartame, and no artificial colors. Only 10 calories. These things are delicious. But yeah, I might buy more of these in the future. I'm not sure. But I'm gonna get off here. I share my story. Y'all be smooth. I'll talk to y'all in the next one. Deuces.